I want you to imagine a morning like this. You're sitting on the edge of your bed, soft light slipping through the window. Not because you're in pain, but because your legs just aren't ready yet. You know that feeling. You want to stand, but there's a pause, a small hesitation. Your balance is off, your legs feel slower. You take a step just a bit more carefully than before. Even lifting a glass of water feels heavier than it used to. And then you think to yourself, maybe it's just age. I'm a doctor and I'm 60 years old. And over the past 3 decades, I've worked with thousands of people between the ages of 50 and 80. So let me tell you something important, something I wish everyone knew a little earlier. Feeling weaker isn't just part of getting older. That wobble in your knees, the shaky arms, that unsteadiness when you get up, yes, it's real. But no, it's not just aging. More often, it's something called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and it sneaks in quietly. You don't notice it in a day, not even a week. It creeps in month after month, year after year, until one day even walking down the stairs makes you reach for the handrail a little tighter. But here's what I need you to hear, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Your body hasn't given up. It's simply waiting for a signal, a chance, the right kind of care. And you know what? The best time for your muscles to heal isn't while you're exercising. It's while you sleep. There's something wonderful that not enough people talk about. During deep sleep, your body repairs itself, especially your muscles. The fibers that help you stand tall, stay steady, and move freely. That healing happens at night, but only if you give your body the raw materials it needs. One of my patients, Helen, 71, once said to me, "Doctor, I thought sleep was enough, but every morning I wake up feeling like my legs have shrunk overnight. I get enough sleep, but I don't feel any stronger." So I asked her, "What do you eat before bed?" She laughed. "Nothing. I thought eating late would make me gain weight." And that's a big misunderstanding. Not all late-night eating is bad. What matters is what you eat and how much. A bit of gentle protein, a piece of fruit rich in natural melatonin, a small handful of magnesium-rich seeds. That's all it takes to shift your body from just resting to restoring. We don't need expensive pills. We don't need trendy supplements. I'm not against modern science, but the truth is, sometimes your body needs something much simpler. A small, kind meal at the right time. I want you to picture this. You're in your quiet kitchen. The lights are warm and soft. In your hand is a peeled kiwi, or maybe a softly boiled egg. Not a fancy dinner, not a strict diet, just a gentle moment. As if you're telling your body, I'm still here. I still care about you. After 60, your body doesn't need pressure. It needs kindness. And what you eat before bed, if it's the right kind of food, can become your body's silent medicine, helping you recover night by night, bit by bit. I used to believe that health at this age was something we had to cling to before it slipped away. But now I believe this. If you care for your body with patience and love, it will listen. It will respond. Start tonight. Don't do something big. Just make one small choice, but make it consistently. One small act done with intention. Because real strength doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most at the right time. And that time is right before bed. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you had an egg? Maybe it was with toast in the morning, or part of a quick lunch scrambled the way your mother used to make. But I want you to start thinking of eggs not just as breakfast food, but as a quiet companion at night, especially if you're over 60. I know it sounds strange. Eggs, at night, one of my dearest patients. Lynn, 68, laughed when I first suggested it. She said eggs are for breakfast. Doctor, and I smiled and replied, that may have worked when you were 40, but now your body might need them in the evening instead. You see, as we age, our bodies don't respond to protein the same way they used to. What used to work, a small piece of chicken, a slice of tofu, just isn't enough anymore. But eggs, especially soft-boiled eggs, are one of the most complete and gentle sources of protein nature has to offer. In just one egg, you get 6 grams of high-quality protein, not too much, not too little. A generous dose of leucine, an amino acid that acts like a light switch for muscle building. Vitamin D. It's one of those nutrients many older adults are low on, mostly because we don't spend as much time in the sun as we used to. But it plays a critical role in muscle and bone function. Without enough of it, even standing up can feel unsteady. And then there's choline, a quiet helper that supports the connection between your nerves and muscles. That's the thing that helps you rise from a chair without feeling like you're tipping over. Mrs. Lynn listened to my suggestion not with high expectations, but with an open mind. She started eating just one soft-boiled egg before bed each night. 2 weeks later, she walked into my office smiling. "Doctor," she said, "my legs don't feel like overcooked noodles anymore." Have you ever felt that way? Like your legs were there, but not really with you. Like they couldn't hold you like they used to. That feeling isn't just getting older. That's muscle loss happening quietly. And eating one egg before bed, just one, can start turning that process around. Night by night. Now I know a lot of people worry about cholesterol in eggs, and yes, that concern used to be valid a few decades ago. But modern science has made it clear for most healthy adults, eating one egg a day does not increase the risk of heart disease. In fact, it can even improve your cholesterol by raising the good HDL kind. Of course, how you cook your egg matters. Soft-boiled, steamed, or lightly scrambled in olive oil, these are your best bets. Try to avoid frying it in butter or pairing it with bacon, which can cancel out the benefits. One more thing I really love about eggs: they're light. They don't weigh down your stomach, they won't mess with your sleep, and they're easy to digest even with a slower metabolism. All it takes is one egg. That's it. No big changes, no fancy recipes, just one warm, gentle signal to your body that says, "I've got what you need." Let's start repairing. In medicine, people talk a lot about high-tech therapies, surgeries, prescriptions. But I believe that sometimes it's the quiet, consistent things that bring the deepest healing. One soft egg, one restful sleep, one stronger morning. That's not magic. That's science lived simply at your own pace. Now let me ask you to imagine this. You're sitting in your quiet kitchen. The evening has settled in. The lights are warm, soft. In your hands, a small bowl of steamed soybeans, edamame still warm, gently steaming. Nothing fancy, nothing loud, just comfort, just nourishment. I call this warmth from the earth because soybeans aren't just food. They're a gift, something humans have harvested and shared for generations. And today, they're still one of the most healing foods we can offer our bodies, especially after 60, 65, or 70. One of my older male patients, Miguel, 73, was a retired builder. Strong hands, decades of lifting, carrying, creating. But one day he sat across from me and said something that struck me. "Doc, I sleep fine, but when I wake up, I feel like my body lost something overnight. My arms, my legs, there's just no strength left. I eat well, I exercise, but it feels like my body can't hold on to what it builds." I asked him, "Have you ever tried a light snack at night? Something gentle like soybeans?" He chuckled. "I thought soy was for vegans." Actually, no. Soybeans are one of the few plant-based foods that contain all 9 essential amino acids, just like meat or dairy. They provide complete protein, and they're rich in leucine, which is key to muscle repair and maintenance. But more than that, they're perfect for older adults who need something light before bed. They won't spike your blood sugar, they won't bloat your stomach, and they feed your body steadily throughout the night while you sleep. Did you know that many people over 60 struggle with shallow sleep? Part of that is because they lack serotonin, the neurotransmitter that helps us relax and fall into deep sleep. Soybeans contain tryptophan, the amino acid your body uses to make serotonin naturally and gently. They also contain magnesium and calcium minerals that help your muscles relax and your nervous system unwind. Some of my patients used to complain about leg cramps or little spasms during the night. And you know what? Just a handful of steamed edamame before bed, and those symptoms started to fade away. If you're watching your heart health, blood pressure, or cutting back on animal fat, soybeans are a wonderful choice. No cholesterol, high in fiber, and even a little plant-based omega-3. A small bowl of edamame, maybe with a pinch of sea salt, a few drops of lemon juice, or nothing at all, can be a quiet message you send to your body every night. "I know you worked hard today. Now it's time to rest and rebuild." I've always believed that health after 60 doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency and kindness. You don't need expensive superfoods or exotic remedies. You just need the right food at the right time, like a bowl of steamed soybeans before bed. That's not just nutrition. That's care. That's listening. That's recovery. Because sometimes something as small as a single bean can bring back a feeling of strength you thought you'd lost. Have you ever woken up with your legs feeling stiff, not quite pain, not a full-on cramp, but just tight, like your muscles never really relaxed overnight? You stretch, you move, you try to shake it off, but it lingers. I see this all the time with patients in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who are still doing their best to stay independent. And I always ask, what did you eat last night? Most of the time they say nothing. I wanted to keep my stomach light for sleep. I get it. But sometimes something very small can make a very big difference. And that something is pumpkin seeds. Sounds simple, right? Those little green seeds sitting quietly in a jar at the back of your pantry. But let me tell you, pumpkin seeds are one of the most powerful silent foods for sleep and muscle recovery, especially as we age. I think of Harold, 72, retired gardener, calloused hands, kind smile. He once told me I sleep 8 hours. I don't wake up during the night, but every morning my legs feel like concrete, like they didn't rest at all. We looked at his dinner habits: balanced, vegetables, fish, no sugar. But he was missing one thing: magnesium. Magnesium is essential. It helps muscles and nerves relax. Without enough, your body can stay in a slightly tense state, even during sleep. And here's the good news. Just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds gives you almost 40% of your daily magnesium needs from one tiny handful of seeds. After Harold started adding 1 to 2 spoonfuls of pumpkin seeds to his evening routine, either with dinner or as a bedtime snack, just 1 week later, he told me, "For the first time in months, I woke up and my legs felt rested, not stiff, like my body finally got the chance to let go." But pumpkin seeds don't stop at magnesium. They also contain tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin and melatonin, 2 key players in helping you sleep deeper and more peacefully. On top of that, they deliver slow-digesting plant-based protein and zinc, which is essential for your immune system and for maintaining natural testosterone levels, especially in men. After age 60, when testosterone starts to dip, it can lead to fatigue, weaker muscles, and slower recovery after a full day. Just a spoonful or 2 of pumpkin seeds at night can quietly support all of that. And no, you don't need much. Just a tablespoon. Eat them plain, or sprinkle them over some unsweetened Greek yogurt. No salt, no sugar, simple, gentle, like a small gift to your body. You see, not everything that works has to be complicated. Sometimes something as small as a single pumpkin seed can help you sleep more soundly, recover more fully, and wake up without reaching for the wall to steady yourself. We're at a time in life where every act of care matters, and if you can offer your body one small gesture of love each night, then let it begin with this: a handful of pumpkin seeds. A dose of minerals. A quiet message that says, I'm still here taking care of you, one little bit at a time. Let me take you back to a morning not so long ago. You wake up, not in pain, but not exactly refreshed either. You put your feet on the floor, and for a moment, it's like your legs don't belong to you. They feel unsteady, sluggish, like you stepped out of a dream that didn't quite let you rest. One of my patients, George, 74, described that feeling in a way I'll never forget. "Doc," he said, "every morning I wake up like I've just slept through the night, but my body feels like it never took a break. I'm not hurting, but I'm not alert either. My legs feel like wood, as if they're resisting me." He wasn't sleep deprived. He wasn't ill. But his body was missing something important. And it wasn't medicine. It was kiwi. Yes, you heard that right. Kiwi. That small, fuzzy fruit with bright green flesh. It may not look like much, but it's one of the few natural foods that actually contain melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that helps regulate your sleep cycle. And after 60, many people naturally start producing less of it, making it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep deeply. Sure, you can take melatonin supplements, but not everyone absorbs them well. A ripe kiwi, on the other hand, provides a gentle, natural dose of melatonin that your body recognizes and absorbs more easily. But kiwi doesn't stop there. It's also rich in potassium, which helps reduce nighttime leg cramps and allows muscles to relax during rest. It's packed with antioxidants that protect your muscle cells from inflammation and stress. And most importantly, it's low in sugar, low in sodium, and gentle on your heart, your blood pressure, and your digestion, things we all start paying more attention to after 60. I suggested something very simple to George. Eat 2 ripe kiwis each evening, about an hour before bed. That's it. No drastic lifestyle changes, no extra exercise routines, just kiwi. And after 2 weeks, he called me back. His voice was full of energy. Doc, he said, I don't creak like an old rocking chair anymore. I wake up and my legs listen to me again. I smiled, but I wasn't surprised because that's what kiwi does quietly but deeply. It doesn't hit you like a thunderbolt. It comes like a warm whisper to your nervous system and tired muscles saying, rest now. I've got this, and you can start tonight. You don't even have to peel it if you're comfortable with the skin. That's where most of the fiber lives. Just rinse it, slice it in half, and scoop it out with a spoon. Let it become your evening ritual. At this age, you don't need a lot. You just need the right things done regularly. A kiwi every night may not make you feel 20 again, but it can help your body feel like it's healing again, one night at a time. And when you wake up the next morning with steady legs and the sense that your body actually rested, you'll understand why I call kiwi a small fruit with a big gift. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Do you remember what it felt like as a child sitting beside your mother, hands wrapped around a warm cup of milk? That quiet moment, the warmth rising in the silence of the night. It wasn't just about the drink. It was about peace, a signal to your body and mind. It's time to rest. Strangely enough, that still holds true even after 60. One of my patients, Clara, 69, she's smart, independent, sharp. She told me during a visit, doctor, I don't sleep badly, but I wake up and feel like I didn't get anything out of it. Like the sleep just didn't help. So I asked her a simple question. Do you eat anything gentle before bed? When I suggested she try a warm glass of low-fat milk, she chuckled. Like when I was a kid, I smiled back. Exactly like that. You see, warm milk isn't just a drink, it's an act of care, a moment to slow down the pace of the day. And more than that, milk, especially low-fat milk, offers real biological benefits for the body after 60. First, it's rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein also found in cottage cheese. That means while you sleep, your body is quietly absorbing the amino acids it needs to maintain and rebuild muscle mass, the kind we slowly lose with age. Second, milk contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin. You don't need sleeping pills. You don't need heavy doses. Just a small glass of warm milk, enough to help sleep arrive gently and deeply. It's also packed with vitamin B12, which supports your nervous system memory and the coordination between your brain and muscles, something we rely on more as we age. Now, I know some of you worry about lactose, and that's valid. If you're sensitive, you can opt for lactose-free milk, fortified almond milk, or even soy milk. But if you tolerate regular milk, then a small glass of warm, unsweetened, low-fat milk is a beautiful option. Gentle, easy to digest, and not likely to cause weight gain if used in moderation. A week later, Clara came back. She wasn't sleeping more hours, but she was waking up with this unmistakable feeling that her body had been cared for during the night. Doctor, she told me, that glass of milk didn't just help me sleep. It made me feel loved again by myself. And honestly, at this stage in life, that might be the most valuable thing of all. Loving yourself again through small, intentional moments each and every night. Because strength doesn't always come from big things. Sometimes it comes from a warm glass of milk, a pause, a quiet message that says, you've done enough today. Now let me take care of you. I'm still here taking care of you. And tomorrow we'll keep walking forward stronger than today. Now, I want to tell you about a food, an old humble one. You might have seen it before, tucked away in your grandma's fridge or maybe your mother's. Soft, plain, a little lumpy, nothing flashy in today's world of trendy health foods. But to me, it's a quiet hero when it comes to taking care of your body after 60. I'm talking about cottage cheese. One of my dear patients, Martha, now 76, a lover of books and poetry, who lives alone but never feels lonely. She once told me something that stayed with me. Lately, she said, getting up from a chair, stepping out of the car, climbing just a few stairs, it all felt heavier. Not because of pain, but because her legs just didn't feel steady like they used to. She still ate healthy, still took her morning walks, still drank plenty of water, and yet her body seemed to be slipping away little by little. I listened quietly, then gently asked, have you ever tried a little cottage cheese before bed? She looked surprised. You mean that stuff my grandma used to eat when I was little? I nodded. Exactly that. You see, cottage cheese is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that's perfect for nighttime. Unlike whey, which digests quickly, casein releases amino acids slowly over several hours, keeping your muscles gently nourished while you sleep. And that is exactly what your muscles need after 60. Not intensity, not bulk, but consistency, stability, patience. If you don't eat enough protein, or you eat it at the wrong time, your body during sleep will start breaking down your own muscle to get the energy it needs. And that's why you sometimes wake up feeling weaker than when you went to bed. But with just a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese, you're giving your body something slow, gentle and timed just right to nourish your muscles, rebuild tissue and preserve strength overnight. What's more, cottage cheese is a great source of leucine, the same amino acid I've mentioned before. Think of leucine as the on switch for building muscle. And when you combine that with vitamin B12, calcium, and low carbs, you've got a bedtime food that's both effective and safe, especially for those watching blood sugar or blood pressure. One thing I love about cottage cheese, it's so versatile. You can eat it plain, add a pinch of cinnamon, a few slices of banana, or even top it with that kiwi I told you about earlier. No cooking, no fuss, just a spoon and a minute to slow down. 3 weeks after starting this habit, Martha came back to see me, her eyes brighter, her step lighter. She said, "You know, Doc, I don't just feel stronger. I feel like my body is finally listening to me. It's responding. It hasn't given up. And I want you to feel that too." Cottage cheese isn't trendy. It's not a miracle. It's a small act repeated gently that helps ease the slow erosion of strength that comes with age. No drama, no noise, just a quiet whisper each night. Rest now. I'm nourishing you from within. You know, after all these years in life and in medicine, I've learned one thing that's simple yet powerful. Our bodies still listen, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. They don't need you to shout. They just need soft signals, little nudges, repeated acts of kindness, a kiwi, a soft-boiled egg, a handful of pumpkin seeds, a bowl of warm edamame, a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese. These aren't just foods, they're gestures. They're messages that say, I still care about you. I still believe you can heal no matter how many years have passed. Aging is not a sentence. It's a gentle shift in the rhythm of life, one that asks us to listen differently and to care a little more intentionally. And when you start honoring those small rituals each night, you'll start to notice quiet miracles. Not overnight, but in a week. Then 2. You'll rise out of bed without shaking. You'll move through your day without hesitation, and you'll feel that you are still whole, still strong, still full of hope. So tonight, I have a small invitation for you. Pick one of these foods, just one, and begin. No pressure, no need to do it all at once. Just stay consistent, stay gentle, and stay trusting. And if this video has brought you strength or comfort, please subscribe to Golden Years Wellness. This is where I share simple, science-backed, heartfelt practices for you, someone who's entering the most meaningful, powerful chapter of your life. Because aging doesn't make you weaker. As long as you keep showing up with patience and love, you can still wake up each morning with strong legs, a grateful body, and a mind clear as morning light.